Hello, welcome to scr1tno Knitting Project podcast. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog. This is episode 22 and it's Thursday the 13th of June 2019. Welcome to any new viewers, welcome back to any returning viewers. Thank you for joining me today. This is my knitting podcast, primarily about my knitting. I do a little bit of spinning. I haven't got any spinning this week, spoiler alert. It's been a bit of a week, aren't they all, every time. So those of you who are new, I am back on project, which means I am doing a rolling 6-day rotation of my whips, which means on day 1 I do socks, day 2 I do shawls, day 3 I do garments, and because they're on, it's only 6 days and there's 7 days in a week, they fall on different days each week. So eventually they all get a little bit of love, because there's some days, like a Tuesday, I do guides where I don't get as much time to knit as other times. That's why the knitting project was born. I've had a spate of finishing things off. Wasn't quite sure what I wanted to cast on. I have got a couple of new cast-ons this week. So I thought, well, do you know what, I'll just go back on project, get a few more of my whips sorted, and also it's Dash Dash. It's a great time to get whips sorted. So I thought, yeah, I'm just going to get back on projects for a little while, at least until I go on holiday in July. So let's get into it. So day 1 is socks, and my first sock whip is hanging out in my beautiful Sherry Iris bag, which was part of her Wildflowers mini club from April, and it was a bit of a special present to myself for my birthday. My birthday's in June. I didn't actually open it until June. And in here I have living my first sock whip, which is a jelly roll sock from a pattern by Marie Catherine Bryner on Ravelry, who is Orange Knits, and it's a paid for pattern. It's not quite the same as hers. I do kind of a easier version because I'm not too keen on the two colour work, but that's just my own preference. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. I'm just impatient, and that is the crux of it. I'm impatient. I want to get the sock done. But I love it. I love this colour. The yarn is by Kelly of Lay Family Yarns, and she's been experimenting with micro stripes, and it's so pretty. I'll give you a close up. You can see the splashes of this purple, which she's given as a mini with it, and this is her pool party colourway. It's so lovely, and that is the yarn caked up. Bit of a messy cake. I don't quite know what's going on with my ball winder at the moment. I fear it's on its way out. And then that is the mini, and it's quite a tonal mini. It's not a flat mini, it's a tonal mini. I don't know if you can see, there's sort of like pops of almost pink in there as well. It's really pretty, and I've just cast on the second one. I'm not quite sure where I was. Oh yes, I am. I was just about to do the toe last week, so I've done all the toe and just cast on my second one, because the day that was sock knitting last week had a bit of a disastrous day, and although I planned on getting 2 toes done, I really didn't. I only got 1 toe done. So that's my cast on. So that's my sock whip 1. Apparently that's not easy to say. I really love it. That's also a little notions pouch made by my friend Jenny of Wee Goodness Yarns, also for my birthday. I will stop mentioning my birthday soon, I promise. And then the other sock whip I've got is, I have an emergency sock that hangs out in this bag here. And this is a bag by Love to Sew. I love it, it's a little sheep, such a happy sheep. And this lives in my kitchen by my keys, and then if I have to leave in a hurry, and I wasn't expecting to go out, I just grab it and shoot out the door, and I've always got my knitting with me. And in here is a cake by Dragon Hill Studio, who do the most amazing self-striping yarn, and it comes ready caked up. So it's perfect for my emergency sock knitting. I can just grab the next cake I've got a few of those, and it will always be my emergency sock knit. It does mean it takes me a little while to get them finished, depending on how much emergencies I have. But I did finish off the toe on my first one. So that's my first one. Isn't that lovely? It's a sparkly rainbow sock. I mean, to be honest, you're sitting there in a hospital waiting room knitting on your emergency sock because you weren't expecting to be there. There is something very calming, A, about knitting, and B, about looking at something so bright and so fun. Isn't that lovely? So on this last week I had the toe to do. So I finished the toe. I got one finished object. And then I cast on the second one, and I have got a little way down this. And that would be because my family have landed me up in a waiting room in a hospital twice this week. They did really well. I'll go more into that in life stuff. But yeah, my emergency sock knitting definitely got to be emergency sock knitting. Now I knit my socks on 2 circular needles. And I use licky needles because I really like them. I know they're not everybody's favourite, but they are mine. So yeah, I need to find, it's supposed to have a little multicoloured sheep on it, but the sheep's disappeared. To mark where I am. But yeah, that's some anxious waiting room time on that sock. And then the other sock I finished off the toe, anxious waiting room time. Did really well. Oh dear, gotta love my family. So that's my sock whips for, I just realised neither of them are in their needle cozies, but both of them have their needle cozies in the bag. So yeah, that's day 1, socks. So day 2 is shawl day, and that is hanging out in my dandelion and dogwood project bag, which I love. That's pretty. And this is a new cast on. Da da da! It's the answer to the cliffhanger ending from last week's podcast. This is what I cast on because it's shawl day. And I was going backwards and forwards as to whether I was going to cast on the Litmus Cowl or whether I was going to cast on the Maytham shawl, and the Maytham shawl won. So I have cast on let me take that out, that's a Whimsy Stitches needle cozy. I really ought to put that on the rainbow sock, didn't I? I might swap that over actually. I won this from Knitting Expat from a sock club last year. I'm going to swap that over actually and put that on that one. Right, so this is the Maytham shawl, which is a pattern by Helen Stewart from the Shawl Society from last year, because I want to be different and, you know, knit a different one. So that's the pattern. Now I'm doing mine in 5 different colours, so each one of these sections here are going to be different colours. And it's a kit from Toad Hollow, which I will show you in a moment. So apologies for any crinkling you can hear. So, done the first section in the blue, and I'm about to go into the first lace section. It's a half moon shawl, which I've actually not done before. Well, I've done this far of one before, because this is how far my other one was before I lost it. If you're a long-term viewer of this podcast, you'll know I lost one last year, and despite tidying up pretty much my entire house, I've not found it. So a bit gutted about that. So I've started a new one, but this is going to be a multicoloured one, so even if I do find the other one, it's sort of 2 colours. That's the start of it. Got the blue and the pink. So I have got the next one is that one. This is all Toad Hollow. It's a kit they did for their Lost in Time crochet shawl, which is beautiful, but I can't crochet to that standard, so I decided I wanted the colours, but I'd do a knit one. There's that one. And then finally I'm going to end up with that one. I love that green, it's so pretty. So that's those 2 colours, and then that was the blue, which I finished with now. That's the colour I started with. And then the next colour was this pink, which I'm on now, right now. It's so pretty. There's so many different tones in it. So yeah, loving that. That's the decision I made. I decided I would knit that one, and hanging out here is my lovely little cat from Jenny of Woolly Goodness that she made me, because today is shawl day, so it's in my shawl project bag. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Love it. I love the pattern. I love Helen's Ship patterns because you just tick them off. Love the yarn. Love Toad Hollow yarn. It's really pretty. Cannot wait to get this finished. I really want to be able to work on this one. I've just got distracted by the rain. It's raining apparently. Yeah, really pleased with that. So that's day 2, shawl day. So day 3 is garment day, and this is currently hanging out in my busy pottering sheep and woolly balls bag. And in here I have Flower Crown by Stranded Dye Works, which is a really pretty kind of speckled, very delicately speckled grey yarn. So pretty. It's one of those yarns that's so much prettier in real life. I believe this is 100% merino, superwash merino, because it does occur to me I'm really bad about remembering to tell you guys what is the yarn I'm using. And I am doing the Understated Sweater by Hokey Locatelli from the Interpretations book 6. And that's a picture of it. So it's a boxy sweater with a v-neck and rib detail on the sleeves, on the shoulders, which I really like. Well, I must do, 'cause this is the second one I'm knitting. And this is for me. I will let you know which size I'm doing when I remember. I think I'm doing the 44. I think I'm doing the 44. And here we go. So that's the v-neck and the shoulders. Doesn't look like I've done much because these rows are so long, but my little strawberry stitch marker is where I was last week, and I have done all the way up there. I am 7 centimetres I think off of doing the rib. I think it's 7 centimetres, it might be a bit longer than that, because you measure from under the arm, and I've actually done quite a bit. It's longer than it looks under the arm. It is a boxy, and it is a sort of cropped boxy, but that's exactly what I want, because I wear dresses a lot over leggings in the summer, and I wanted a boxy. Well, to be honest, I wear dresses over leggings in the winter too. It's just what I wear on the top is less, because these are strappy dresses. So I just wear, like, I've got a thin cardigan on today because it's not that hot. But in winter I just put a thick jumper over it. So I always wear the dresses, it's just what I wear on top is different. So this is a DK weight. Everything else I've shown you so far has been fingering weight. This is DK weight. And yeah, I think you can probably see on the back the pattern, the colours in the yarn a bit better. Hopefully that's focusing, because I can now not see a thing. But yeah, absolutely adore it. It's so nice, and at the moment it's just it's a giant sock stage, so you're just knitting round and round. And I'm doing the helical knitting, which is the jogless join, because I'm alternating 2 skeins. They're my 2 skeins at the moment. By Grace of Babbles Yarns, her channel, she did a tutorial for it, which is brilliant. It's really good. Now when you're alternating 2 skeins, it's not happened with this because this is so similar, I think they're all the same dye lot. You can see that one's much smaller than that one. My idea is that these 2 skeins don't run out at the same time. Otherwise, when you join in 2 fresh skeins, they could both be very different. So I try to make sure that one is going to be running out at a different time to another. So you kind of fade the new ones in. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. It did happen with, I've got a green EDT by Isabel Kramer, and one of those skeins has got a little tiny fleck of blue in it, whereas the other one hasn't. And that one I had to make sure I kind of stranded in quite a lot so that the blue went all the way through the top, and I didn't just use that in kind of like the very top of it and then not have any more blue. I'll show you when I wear it. I'll put it on at some point. Doesn't make sense otherwise. So yeah, so that's my yarn. But yeah, so that's my understated sweater by Hoki Locatelli, day 3 garment day. So day 4 is small items day. So Kelly, if you're watching, can you disappear for a minute please? I will call you back at the end. I am making some mitts for my friend Kelly for Christmas, and I'm making them in John Arbon Knit by Numbers DK, which is this fab red, which I believe is number 19 from memory. That is kind of blowing out. In fact, it's very much blowing out. My lighting's not great this week. I said that last week and the lighting was fine, so I'm hoping that that's going to be the case this week too. This is just one giant tangle of yarn and needles this week, and that is the black, which I believe is number 1. And as I said, John Arbon Knit by Numbers DK. This yarn is very soft and very squidgy, and if you want to knit a garment in it, I'm sure you could. It's lovely. It's gorgeous yarn, really soft. Right, so where am I? So here we go. Last week I'd finished both the mitts but hadn't put on thumbs. This week I have a thumb. Only one. I've only got one thumb. I don't know which day small items day was last week, but it obviously didn't get an awful lot of knitting time. So there's a little thumb. Yeah, I love the way that these go. You turn it down, it just carries on the pattern. That's brilliant. So that's definitely got a thumb. And that's the, and this is the Marriott pattern by Skein. It's part of one of the mitt clubs, and I think it's the second one, but it's linked. I have got it in my project page. It's linked on my project page on Ravelry, so if you want to look it up, go check my project page on Ravelry. Isn't it lovely? And I have picked up for the thumbs on the second one, which is fab. There we go. So hopefully these will be an FO by the end of next week's podcast, which will be great because then I won't have to keep sending Kelly out of the room. Now this is living in my black cat bag by Busy Pottering, which I absolutely adore. I love this bag. Isn't it pretty? It's even got a little bell on it. Love it. So yeah, that's my mitts for Kelly for Christmas. Getting ahead of the game on that one, and I love it. I've loved the pattern, I've loved the yarn, I love everything about it. So right, so Kelly, if you've looked away, you can come back now. It's all done. I'm finished showing it. Oh, thank you for going and doing something else for a moment. So that is day 4, small items day. So day 5 is mystery blanket day, and it occurred to me last week when I was editing it back, I didn't give you any details. So this is a mystery blanket club that Debbie Abrahams does every year, and I've done it most years. I haven't finished very many of them, but I have done them most years. Now back in 2009 I did the 2009 one, which is called Arabian Nights. It's very pretty. And then sadly in 2010, when I was finishing it off, I was just doing the edging, I lost my mum, and it was a project I was working on at the time, and I just put it away and was like, no, I'm done, I can't work on it. So pretty much 10 years later I have finally got this project out to finish, which is great because I have literally just got the edge to do. So it's like, come on, you've got to get this edge finished. So oh, here we go, this is it. And this is not living in anything fancy. It is living in a M&S Christmas shopping bag. because it's massive and it's got all the yarn in there, it's got all the pattern in there, it's got everything I need in with it, to be fair. So I just did the classic podcaster error of forgetting to look at my camera, and my camera switched off. So here we go again. Right, I was going to show you, this is where I was last week on the edging, and I have finished the rest of this side. I ran out of pink and had to put some pink in from my stash. Hopefully that doesn't look too horrendous. It doesn't look too bad on camera. It doesn't look anything like that in real life. It looks fairly close. That one. And this is a knit down and sew on as you go edging. So as you can see, I am sewing it on here in the green. There, not that green. Only I could have two green ones. I'm sewing it in that green, and that's the edge. I've just started. This is literally the last edge. So once I've done that, so I've just got that, 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 and that to go. Once I finish that, all I'll have to do is sew in my ends, and I'm going to steam block the edging. I don't need to block the blanket. I have a feeling I may have already blocked this blanket because it's not rolling or anything. So I'm going to steam block the edging, and then I've just got the ends to do, and yeah, and then it's done. So I reckon another couple of rotations and I will get this finished, which is kind of cool. And one of these reasons I'm just going to sit here and hold it up for a minute while I chat. One of the reasons I like the rolling rotation is sometimes it makes me get on with stuff that I wouldn't do normally. Right, I'm going to attempt to stand up and show you a little bit more of this. When it's finished, I will do finished object photos, but until then, let's see what I can do with it standing up. There we go, there's a little bit more of it. So if I hold it up, this is really heavy. I believe the star in the middle is the middle. And then that's one side. And that's the other side. I'm not sure how well that worked, but hopefully you get the general idea. It's very pretty. It's knit in Rowan cotton glacé, and possibly destined for my middle child if she still wants it. Back in 2009 she did. Her taste may have changed now. It's funny actually because this year's blanket is really pretty. It's a Christmassy one and I absolutely adore it, although I'm not working on it at the moment. And everybody wants that one, and I'm like, no, I'm keeping this one. It's mine. You're not having it. Well, not yet anyway. You may inherit it one day, but just now it's mine. I'm keeping it. So yeah, so that's day 5, Mystery Blanket Day, which is a blanket club that Debbie Abrahams does every year. If you're interested, go onto her website. She's got all the information on her website. Just Google Debbie Abrahams. If you're in the UK, you will get a politician come up. You need to do Debbie Abrahams knitter, and then you should get her. All her details for sign-ups etc. are on there. She signs, I think they're coming up quite soon. I think she does sign-ups in about July time. So yeah, that'll probably happen quite soon if you want to do the 2021. Yeah, day 5, Mystery Blanket Day. Day 6 is my Scrappy Projects Day, and it has a rotation all of its own, and it rotates between my Bits and Bobs blanket, my Stitch in Time blanket, my Hexie Puff quilt, and my Corner to Corner blanket. And now I have added a 5th one to that. Oh, and that is living in my So Beautiful by Nicola bag, which has got her air balloon on it, so it had to happen really. And it's ginormous, which is just as well, because this is going to be a very big project. And these bags, So Beautiful by Nicola bags, are lovely. Now, I have decided I want to create, yeah, that works, but crochet a Battenberg blanket. Now, I'm not a natural crocheter to the point that I throw like I'm knitting when I crochet, and as much as I tried so hard not to do that during this week when I was learning how to do the squares on this, I gave up. I'm just, yeah, it's never going to happen. So I've got a little hedgehog bag in here as well by Busy Pottering, which is keeping my leftover minis in. And I am using my boxes by West Green Loft Yarn, the lovely Vicky, who's doing a monthly club. And I can't remember what this is, I think this might be February. So pretty. These are the colours. And so far I've only done 5 of the first colour. I'm actually only going to do 4, but I've done 5 of the first colour. And they're so cute, aren't they? They're so pretty. And this is the 4 of the second colour. And from now on I'm only going to be doing 4 of them because I want enough left over to put in my Cozy Memories blanket and to use as advents for friend swaps. So I love this green colour. It's all about the green at the moment. So I actually managed to kind of sort out, because as I said, I'm not a natural crocheter, so that is quite an achievement for me to manage to do this. And by then, I think this was the last one, I'd actually worked out what I was doing. I still can't tell which is the right side and the wrong side on these, so I'm guessing that's the wrong side because that's the side the yarn's coming out of. I might have to get lots of little stitch markers and stick them all on the right side when I've finished. Oh dear. And I've just gone into the pink. I've just started the pink one. Now for the what is white on here, I've asked Kelly of Lay Family Yarns if she will, so the white ones in between, if she will dye me up a really, really, really pale pink, so that I can have just a pale pink as my other colour, which I'm hoping will look really, really pretty. So yeah, and then that's obviously the other 2 colours from this box, which I'm going to use. And I have at the moment got my other boxes in here. They're just hanging out. And I've got a few more boxes, I just need to find them. Well, not so much find them, I know where they are. They're there, I can see them. However, I've got to unpile everything that's on top of it to get to it. That's not happening. Yeah, so back on that, this is the Battenberg blanket by Sandra Paul of Cherry Hearts. She's got a podcast as well. She's got fab tutorials, honestly. She has taught me how to do these squares. Her tutorials are brilliant. And they all come with the pattern. It's a paid for pattern. It's definitely worth buying the pattern if you want to do it. It's so lovely. And she's got a really clever method of joining them as well, which I'm looking forward to trying. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's another Scrappy project that I'm going to add to my many Scrappy projects that I've got. But I'm about to come to the end of my small items day. And I'm actually thinking what I might do is turn that into crochet day, which it used to be, and alternate between my corner to corner blanket and this. So that's day 6, Scrappy project day. So the only thing I've got left to show you is my Cozy Memories blanket, and that is, I do this blanket I do a square on my blanket every morning. When I wake up, I sit there watching podcasts, drinking my coffee and knitting on my blanket. And at the moment I'm watching the daily vlogs from Tales from Cuckoo Land, which is the lovely Gaynor. Absolutely loving it. I don't know what I'm going to do when we haven't got daily vlogs anymore. So I really enjoyed that. I was watching that this morning. As you can see, I didn't get an awful lot done this morning. I shall tell you why in a minute. But I can't believe I've actually left it in the middle of a row either. Do you know what? I might just finish my row. Bear with me while I finish my row. Oh dear. Podcaster life, eh? So yeah, so I'm watching Tales from Cuckoo Land and lovely Gaynor at the moment, and thoroughly enjoying it. I've been enjoying everybody who's been doing daily vlogs. It's been great. So if anybody knows of anybody who's planning on doing July, can you let me know? Because I'd quite like to have that for July too, although I'm away myself. I will be doing some vlogging myself in July, but not till the middle to end of July. Right, so I am using signature needles because this is a special project, so I treated myself to some special needles. 2.5mm signatures with the, I don't think this is the stiletto point, I think it's the point down from the stiletto point. I don't know what that is. Now Kelly of Lay Family Yarn has done me like a little birthday advent, which was a countdown to my birthday, because I haven't finished it yet. I've still got a few more bits and pieces, a few more minis to do from it, because I keep adding in things that aren't hers basically. So this first square is from the Old Piggery, which is a mini I picked up on holiday, so that's souvenir skein. This is a little Lolo, so that's Lolo did it. That's Violet. This one is Junk Yarn. I don't think that one's got a number. I thought it did have a name. If it did have a name, I haven't got it on there. This one is Bumblebee Acres, Maple Leaf. This one is another little Lolo from Lolo Did It, and that's Julep. This one's not got its label on the back of it, it's on the wrong one. Madder About Wool, Party Popper. That's really pretty, I liked that colourway a lot when I was knitting it up. This one is... that one is West Green Loft Yarns Mini from my Battenberg blanket, to see how much yarn I needed to make a mini, so I could weigh the leftover balls, so I could work out whether I could get 4 or 5 out of a mini and have 10 grams left over to sort out for an advent. Complicated, but there you go. And then this one I'm doing now, which actually would be better to show you the yarn because it's really pretty. It's purples and pinks, and it has some stellina in it. And this is a Bakery Bears one, Bees Blanket, which is really pretty. I'm guessing that's a blanket she made for her daughter. So yes, I am loving doing this every morning. It's getting quite big. Yeah, quite big. On the 15th of June I theoretically am halfway through the year, but I'm not sure whether that works out exact mathematically, but that's where I am in my head. And that's hanging out in a Busy Pottering Seaside bag, which I love. It's such a good bag. It keeps it beautifully in there. So yeah, that's my cozy memory blanket. Now, shock horror, I haven't got anything to show you in acquisitions this week. This is not because I don't have any. This is because I haven't had a chance to open the packages yet. They're all sitting downstairs on the sofa waiting for me to open them. I just didn't have the chance to do it, and I really wanted to get this recorded because I am heading up north later on today. So I'm going to go straight into life stuff. So if you're not interested in what I've been up to this week, then thank you for joining me today. I will see you next week. If you are interested, oh wow, it's been a week. So let's go down. When did I recorded last Thursday, didn't I? So last Friday I had a lovely birthday treat. I went out for lunch with hubby to a restaurant called Into the Blue, which is in Shoreham, and it's a fish restaurant, and the food is just amazing. Weather was awful, but the food was great. It was so nice. Saturday I was helping out, which was Knit in Public Day actually, and I was helping out at our local carnival, and although I had my knitting with me to knit in public, I didn't get a moment to myself to knit in public, but that was great. It was good fun. Again, weather was awful. Sunday my darling daughters arranged a birthday party for me, just sort of family party, and a few close friends, and we were really lucky. The weather held. It rained for about a minute at one point, but nothing heavy. It was just light sprinkling. We had a marquee in the garden. It was lovely. Hopefully at some point I've got a birthday vlog that I want to put together, and if I do get that sorted, then I'll put some footage of that on there. mainly of me standing under a tree waiting for my birthday cake to arrive because Kate couldn't light the candles, which was hysterical. So that was fun. I really enjoyed it. Had a lovely day. Monday I was at work and home Monday evening. I don't recall doing anything Monday evening. So going back a bit, Thursday afternoon I had to take Meg to our local walking centre because she had a clubbing injury. Someone stood on her foot in stiletto heels and it had swollen up really nastily, so we whipped her up to the walking centre. Thankfully nothing damaged, it's just tissue damage, but she's still got a lovely bruise a week later. So that was Thursday as well. Monday evening I don't think I did anything. I think I was in Monday evening. Tuesday was the day here in the UK in the southeast where we had an awful lot of rain, absolute shed load of rain, Monday and Tuesday in actual fact, and we were supposed to be litter picking with the guides Tuesday evening, but we decided not to do that because they were going to get drenched, so we were in the hut. So Tuesday evening I did guides, and then yesterday we went to see, I was at work, and then we went to see Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which is a show in the West End, and my younger daughter, who's involved with the theatre, managed to get us some tickets for it, and it's just amazing. What an amazing show. It's so good, so much talent, loved every minute of it, really really good. So that was last night, and then today, obviously I'm recording a podcast now, I'm on call for work as well, and then later on I've got brownies, and then after brownies we're shooting up north to go and see Ian's parents. Now my husband's got elderly parents, they live in Blackpool and they've not been very well, so we're going to just shoot up and do a flying visit. We're going to go to Stratford tonight, she says, Telford, Stratford, not sure which, one of the two, and we're staying there tonight, and then we're going to carry on up to Blackpool tomorrow daytime, go see his parents, and then on Saturday we've got to shoot straight back. I'm going to throw the jumper out of the car door at Kelly on our way through, so that we're back a decent time on Saturday, because my family, normally there is 6 of us live here, between my daughters and their boyfriends and everybody else. Normally there is somebody here, but ironically on Saturday we're all out, so we're going to shoot straight back so that we can get here before Kate leaves, so that the dog isn't on her own, because she's still not 100% and we don't want to leave her on her own, so we're going to get back in time so that we have somebody here for the dog, bless her. So yeah, that's Saturday. And then next week I have absolutely no idea what's going on, I'll be honest. I will hopefully record on Thursday. Oh yeah, next weekend I am away with the brownies all weekend. We're going to PGL, which is an activity centre, and the one near us is in Hindhead, and we're going to take them there for Friday through Sunday, so I'm expecting to be very tired and probably not getting an awful lot of knitting done. I will record the following Thursday on that, but whether I'll have anything to show you, we may miss that one out depending, but hopefully not. So yeah, so it's been a week. The only other thing I wanted to chat about was podcasts I've watched, because I did catch up on a few this week. I watched The Lonely Knitter, who's the lovely Laura, and congratulations Laura. I can't wait to start knitting baby things, it's going to be so much fun. I watched The Hairy Sheep, the lovely Emma and Rosie. I've just noticed I've got another one to catch up on there, but they're lovely. If you don't watch them, go watch them, they're so sweet. Mother and daughter team, and Rosie is so super talented, bless her. Geordie Knits podcast, I watched Katie, she's lovely, and currently having a second attempt at her barbel hat, bless her. But her first one didn't go too well, so she's having another go. Who else have I watched? I've watched Toad Hollow, but they were doing their floss tube this week, which is where they show their cross stitches. So if you're not interested in that, don't watch that one, but I love anything they do, so I watched that one. That was really good. Halfway through the Knit Girls, halfway through Stranded, because I got interrupted out of both of those this morning. Who else have I watched? I feel like I'm missing someone. So Sweet Violet, I watched hers. Can't think of anybody else. I'll get off of here and go, oh yeah, of course I watched so and so. So yeah, that's it for this week. I will have acquisitions next week because, you know, I haven't opened this week's yet. I don't think they're all clubs. I think there's some bits and pieces in there. There's definitely some hedgerow yarn minis in there that I haven't opened yet. But yeah, that's it from me this week. As usual, I hope you all have a good week wherever you are. I will see you next week. Take care.